Data patterns, Capstone update. All right, this slide shows where I use the Bayes theorem to calculate the cost of data. This chart here shows my calculation using the Bayes theorem, and I got a 0.625% probability of getting data, and then the cost of data itself. So data is an enterprise asset. What is my data worth to the enterprise? How do you value an intangible asset? And then how much are we losing by not managing our data in terms of both increased costs and reduced opportunities? The value of data, determine the theoretical value of information, is somewhere between 20% to 60% of the value of the company. And then you got to consider depreciation based on data changes. Approximately 10% of the population changes addresses, emails, etc. per year. Analyze the maturity level of data governance to show the utilization value of information assets. Calculate the value to be derived by increasing the level of data governance. And then the full data governance maintains the integrity of the entire asset, while no data governance allows the depreciation to mark down the value of the asset to zero over time. So this chart here displays how I calculated the value of data for my working company CarMax. Say that CarMax is worth $10 million. So the value information is 20 to 60%, where we use the 20% calculation, giving us $2 billion. And then depreciation information is 10% to 20%. If you use the 10% calculation, that will give us $1,800,000,000. Then the maturity level for data governance is 1 through 4. Whereas opportunity for value increases per level. Level 1 is $450 million. Level 2 is $900 million. Level 3 is $1,350 million. And then lastly, level 4 is $1,800 million. Data patterns. Some of the possible measurements include number of used cars purchased per month per household, age group of used cars purchaser, zip code of the survey respondent, dollar amount spent per month on used cars per person, and then the time in between purchases of used cars. Most people purchase used vehicles during the end of end of the year, when dealerships usually had the best deals or when it was a national holiday. People would purchase used due to lower costs in regards to depreciation, but purchase new for a variety of other reasons, including quality and manufacturing warranties. Men between the age 21 to 50 bought used due to getting a similar vehicle to a new one for a lower price, and but preferred to buy new in order to be the first owner. All right, this slide deals with CarMax. I did some visuals using Power BI. The first one, the top left, is the CarMax key information. So CarMax was founded in September 1993. It is part of the new and used car retail industry. It's publicly traded as KMX S&P 500 on the New York Stock Exchange. The parent company is Circuit City, and headquartered out of Richmond, Virginia. Key people include Bill Nash, the chairman, and then Tom Reedy as their CFO. There's about 25,000 employees working for CarMax. There was a $17.12 billion revenue reported for 2018, and then a $664.10 million net income reported for 2018 as well. I also did visuals to show the gross profit per used vehicle retailed, used vehicle retail unit sales, and then the gross margin on retail used vehicles. Data patterns. Data related to brand. Interbrand, 80% of the value of brand is related to 10 distinct factors, 4 internal and 6 external. The 4 internal factors are clarity, protection, commitment, and responsiveness. For brand valuation, the factors are equally weighted. Customer data has a direct correlation to value assigned to commitment and responsiveness. This chart here shows how I calculated the value to brand. Say value brand value of CarMax is $1 billion. Impact of factors on brand is 80%. So we use the 0.880 to get $800 million. And then the impact customer data is 2 out of 10 equally weighted. So we would use the 0.2 to calculate, giving us $160 million. Data trends. What variables change the outcome the most? Would be the number of used cars purchased, the age group, and the dollar amount spent. Data clustering. What is clustering? Clustering is the process of making a group of abstract objects into classes of similar objects. Some points to remember. A cluster of data objects can be treated as one group. While doing cluster analysis, we first partition the set of data into groups based on data similarities and then assign the labels to the groups. The main advantages of clustering over classification is that it is adaptable to changes and helps single out useful features that distinguish different groups. Is clustering appropriate for CarMax? I found these reasons to be why clustering is appropriate for CarMax. Clustering analysis is broadly used in many applications such as market research, pattern recognition, data analysis, and image processing. Clustering can also help marketers to discover distinct groups in their customer base, and they can characterize their customer groups based on the purchasing patterns. As a data mining function, cluster analysis serves as a tool to gain insight into the distribution of data to observe characteristics of each cluster. How are the data associated? For CarMax, I found the data to be associated through the market basket analysis. Association rules are often used to analyze sales transactions. For example, it might be noted that customers who buy cereal at the grocery store often buy milk at the same time. In fact, association analysis might find that 85% of the checkout sessions that include cereal also include milk. The relationship could be formulated as the following rule. Cereal implies milk with 85% confidence. This application of association modeling is called market basket analysis. It is valuable for direct marketing, sales promotions, and for discovering business trends. Market basket analysis can also be used effectively for store layout, catalog design, and cross-sell. Correlations. Are correlations spatial, temporal, coincidental for CarMax data? I found it to be spatial correlation. This concept of spatial autocorrelation is an extension of temporal autocorrelation. It is a bit more complicated though. Time is one-dimensional and goes in one direction, ever forward. Spatial objects have at least 2 dimensions and complex shapes, and it may not be obvious how to determine where it is near. Determine what is near. Measures of spatial autocorrelation describe the degree in which 2 observation values at spatial location, whether they are points, areas, or raster cells, are similar to each other. So we need 2 things of observations and locations. Network analysis. So Facebook or CarMax has a Facebook page where they use it to advertise and market for to sell their vehicles, to help them sell their vehicle. All right, so they started at they had added a shop now button to their Facebook page where customers can purchase vehicles directly from their Facebook page now, and they also advertise using videos. There was a video that I found on their Facebook page that shows we're all about helping you find the right car for your lifestyle and budget. Optimization and risk reduction. Some risk categories include strategic, including competition, M&A, the financial category of cash flow and collections, and then regulatory category includes regulatory penalties, cost to adhere to regulations, opportunity cost to respond to regulators, and then operational category includes supplier exposure, employee turnover, and loss of information. Actual value identifier, restatement costs, 4 to 5 million. Professional services, not including soft dollars, FTE. Consulting fees are 9 million for audit. 40% of the audit cost is spent on gathering data. Employee burnout was consistently cited as a major risk of maintaining the status quo. Credit risk rating remediation project resulted in over 2,500 hours of effort. Global expansion, additional markets, and 24/7 processing will continue to exert pressure on manual processes, further increasing the likelihood of oversight, leading to reporting mistakes and noncompliance. This slide deals with the data forecast for CarMax. You can see the stock price forecast, analyst recommendations, earnings and sales forecasts for the current quarter, earnings per share, and then the sales, all provided by CNN. International expansion. CarMax is currently only located in the U.S. Areas that would be a good choice for international expansion would be heavily populated countries with the median annual household income of $40,000 of 40,000 US dollars or more. Countries like Canada, Japan, Hong Kong, England, and Germany are great candidates. I chose Canada for international expansion. They had an average annual income of $42,790. Political concerns, political stability, rule of law, effectivity, regulatory quality, and voice accountability were all in the green on that chart. The death penalty was abolished in 1998. The potential threat of terrorism. Canada's current level is medium, meaning that a violent act of terrorism could occur, and has been at this level since October 2014. Climate for Canada, so it's hard to determine the climate because there is 2,900 kilometers of land from north to south. The individual parts of the country would be too different. Mostly moderate climatic zone determines the weather in Canada. As usual in the northern hemisphere, the days in the summer months are not only warmer but also longer. Depending on the season, the average daytime temperature ranges between -8 and 22 degrees Celsius. In some parts of the country, the temperature raises up to 27 degrees Celsius. In the colder months, and depending in the region, the temperature lowers down to -17 degrees Celsius in a month's average. So for these reasons, I believe CarMax should expand to Canada. And these are the references for the information pertained in this slide. Thank you.